That is a set dart missed for Luke Humphries and a break of throw for Luke Littler. And all of a...
Okay.
To the ball.
What if I told you that an 18-year-old has cracked the code that destroys most professional athletes? While seasoned champions crumble under pressure, Luke Littler steps onto the world's biggest stages and plays like he's throwing in his bedroom. At the World Championship, with millions watching and legends falling around him, Littler averaged over 100 and looked bored. When other players shake with nerves, he yawns between throws. When the crowd roars, he smiles. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening inside Luke Littler's mind that makes him immune to pressure, and why his psychological approach is revolutionizing professional darts. This isn't just about a talented teenager. This is about a fundamental shift in how the human mind can process pressure. For decades, sports psychologists have studied why some athletes thrive under pressure while others collapse. Littler represents something new. A generation that doesn't just handle pressure differently, they don't feel it in the same way. The implications go beyond darts. If we can understand what makes Littler's mind work, we might unlock secrets about human performance that could change how we think about pressure forever. But first, let's examine what traditional pressure looks like in professional darts.
But are you approaching it like the old cliche, treat it like any other game, or is it the opposite? This is the world final, it's something different, you have to treat it as...
To understand why Littler is different, we need to see what pressure normally does to even the greatest players. Gary Anderson's 11-match darts in 2018. Gary Anderson, a two-time world champion, missed 11 consecutive match darts at the World Match Play. 11! Each miss made the next one harder. The pressure compounded until Anderson was visibly shaking. Every mistake feels 10 times worse at Blackpool, Anderson admitted afterwards. This is what the pressure looks like for normal humans, even world champions. James Wade's breakdown in 2010. James Wade faced Phil Taylor in the World Match Play final. Wade was experienced, mentally tough, a proven winner, but the pressure of facing Taylor on that stage broke him completely. I felt completely overwhelmed, Wade said. It was like throwing against a wall that hit back harder every time. Michael Van Gerwen's collapse. Even MVG, one of the most dominant players in history, has crumbled under pressure. His 2019 World Championship final loss to Rob Cross came after missing crucial doubles while visibly struggling with nerves. This is the pattern. Pressure builds, performance drops, confidence crumbles, and even legends fall apart. But Luke Littler? He operates by completely different rules. When Luke Littler stepped onto the World Championship stage for the first time, something unprecedented happened. Instead of nerves, he showed excitement. Instead of caution, he showed aggression. Instead of pressure, he found freedom. The Alexandra Palace debut. Most players describe their first World Championship as terrifying. The crowd, the cameras, the history, it overwhelms them. Littler's reaction? It was class. I loved every minute of it. During his first round match against Christian Kist, Littler averaged 106.12. For context, that's higher than most players achieve in practice. Under the brightest lights in darts, with millions watching, he played better than normal. The crowd psychology. Traditional sports psychology says hostile crowds create pressure. Littler flips this completely. When the crowd boos, he smiles. When they cheer his opponent, he waves. He's turned crowd pressure into entertainment. I just enjoy it, Littler explained. The louder they get, the more fun it is. This isn't bravado, it's a fundamental rewiring of how his brain processes external stimuli. The social media generation effect. Here's where it gets fascinating. Littler grew up with millions of eyes on him through social media. By age 16, his practice videos had millions of views. He's been performing for massive audiences since childhood. Traditional players had to learn to handle pressure. Littler learned to perform with it. The flow state advantage. Littler enters what psychologists call flow state more easily than veteran players. In flow, self-consciousness disappears, time slows down, and performance becomes effortless. Most players struggle to find flow under pressure. Littler finds it because of pressure. Littler represents a fundamental shift in how young athletes approach pressure. This isn't just about talent, it's about a completely different psychological framework. The comparison generation.
Go on, Gary, come on. The little twizzle made no difference.
Players like Phil Taylor and Gary Anderson grew up comparing themselves to a small group of local players. Success meant being the best in your pub, your county, your country. Littler grew up comparing himself to global superstars through YouTube and social media. His reference point for normal performance is already at the highest level. The content creator mindset. Before turning professional, Littler was essentially a content creator. He understood that entertainment value mattered as much as performance. This mindset makes him comfortable being watched and judged. Traditional players see cameras as pressure. Littler sees them as his audience. The instant feedback loop. Littler's generation receives instant feedback through social media. They're used to performing, being judged, adjusting, and performing again immediately. This creates resilience to criticism and comfort with public performance.
Look at the numbers! Oh, please!
Oh, he opts to switch down the board. This is an absolute barrage that Ryan Meikle's facing here.
When Littler misses a crucial double, he doesn't dwell on it. He's already thinking about the next throw. This mental agility is generational. Littler's psychological advantages translate into tactical decisions that older players wouldn't dare attempt. The 170 checkout confidence. In high-pressure situations, most players choose safe, high-percentage finishes. Littler goes for the spectacular. His 170 checkout attempts in crucial moments aren't reckless, they're calculated confidence. "I back myself to hit anything," Littler says. This isn't arrogance, it's a fundamental belief system that pressure enhances rather than diminishes his ability. The mid-leg adjustments. Traditional players stick to predetermined strategies under pressure. Littler adapts in real time. If the treble 20 segment is crowded, he switches to treble 19 without hesitation. If his opponent is struggling, he increases his aggression. This tactical flexibility comes from a mind that sees pressure as information rather than intimidation. The finishing philosophy. Most players become conservative when finishing under pressure. Littler becomes more aggressive. He attempts difficult checkouts because he genuinely believes pressure improves his accuracy. One of the most fascinating aspects of Littler's psychology is how he uses external validation as fuel rather than pressure.
100 now.
The only set that Van Goen has lost in a deciding leg was one of those to Callum Rees.
The crowd energy. Traditional sports psychology teaches athletes to block out crowd noise. Littler feeds off it. He's described the roar of the crowd as like a drug that makes him throw better. This represents a complete inversion of normal pressure response. Where others see judgment, he sees support. The media attention. Most young athletes struggle with media pressure. Littler thrives on it. He gives confident interviews, makes bold predictions, and seems to enjoy the spotlight. "The more people watching, the better I play," he said. This isn't just confidence, it's a rewired relationship with attention. The expectation management. Here's where Littler shows remarkable psychological sophistication. He manages expectations by embracing them. Instead of downplaying his abilities, he acknowledges them while maintaining perspective. "I know I'm good, but I'm still learning," he says. This balance between confidence and humility creates psychological resilience. Perhaps most importantly, Littler has developed a unique relationship with failure that makes him virtually immune to pressure-induced collapse.
Of darts to see who wins this tournament. And it's on! He's got the awkward treble 19 out the way if he gets the first.
The learning mindset. When Littler loses, he doesn't see failure, he sees data. His post-match interviews focus on what he learned rather than what went wrong. The growth mindset prevents the negative spiral that destroys other players. The bounce-back ability. After his World Championship final loss to Luke Humphries, Littler was back practicing the next day. No extended recovery period, no psychological damage, just immediate refocus on improvement. This resilience comes from a fundamental belief that setbacks are temporary and informative rather than defining. The pressure reframe. Most players see pressure as something to overcome, Littler sees it as something to enjoy. This reframe changes everything about how his nervous system responds to high-stakes situations. Littler's approach represents the future of elite athletic performance. As more young athletes grow up in the social media age, we're likely to see this fearless, pressure-positive mindset become more common. The coaching revolution. Sports psychologists are already studying Littler's methods to develop new training approaches. The goal isn't just to help athletes cope with pressure, but to help them thrive because of it.
Set off some alarm bells for Littler.
Rewiring 141.
Well, Aspinall averaging 105.
The cultural shift. Littler is changing how we think about pressure in sports. His success is proving that the traditional "pressure is the enemy" mindset might be outdated. The generational impact. Young darts players watching Littler are learning that pressure can be fun, that big stages can be playgrounds, and that confidence can be a choice rather than a feeling. Luke Littler doesn't feel pressure the way other players do because his brain has been wired differently from the start. Growing up in the social media age, performing for global audiences since childhood, and developing a mindset that sees pressure as opportunity rather than threat. These factors have created a psychological profile that's revolutionizing professional sports. His fearlessness isn't just changing darts, it's showing us what's possible when the human mind approaches pressure with excitement rather than anxiety. And as more young athletes adopt his methods, we might be witnessing the beginning of a new era in elite performance. Luke Littler doesn't just perform under pressure, he thrives in it, rewriting what we thought was possible in professional darts. His story is still being written, and if the early chapters are any indication, we're witnessing the rise of something extraordinary. There's so much more to uncover in the world of darts, from untold rivalries to the science behind perfection, and it's all coming soon right here on Darts Nation. So hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and make sure you don't miss what's coming next, because in this sport, the most unbelievable moments are always just one match away.